Hey there, this is Beth Parrish with Inspired Riding. I'm a remote coach and certified riding instructor, as well as an animal communicator. I encourage equestrians to feel safe, confident, and connected with their horses. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about how learning animal communication can help your relationship with your horse. I had an incredible trainer offer a bit of advice during a riding lesson that not only helped my horse, but made me feel more empowered with all things in life. He said, "Your attempt at a movement is going to be more beneficial than not doing it at all." Let that sink in for a moment. If you think you'd like to do something that you've never tried before, thinking about it, but not ever attempting it, won't get you anywhere. But taking a crack at it, and even if you fail, at least you've opened up the door to new possibilities. The more you attempt something, the easier it will become to understand where you need to improve. So if you've never done, let's say, a shoulder in with your horse, and you just try it for a few moments, you begin to see how to explore what your horse's body needs from you to get the feeling just right. The same goes for anything in life. Why not attempt something that you've been curious about? If it's something that doesn't cause any harm, then I encourage people by saying, just go for it. You've got this. So how can animal communication help you with your relationship with your horse? The process of attempting it actually helps you become more present and connected to your heart. This in turn allows you to notice how you and your horse are feeling in any given moment. This awareness is key when working with horses. I'll go over the process briefly in just a moment, but please hear this first. If you've ever been curious about animal communication, but feel like you're skeptical about telepathy, which is a very healthy approach, then I recommend doing lots of experiments to get confirmations with your friends and other animals. And by experiments, I mean attempt to connect with your horse, ask them specific questions, and then have your friends ask the same questions to see if any of them get the same answers. Then be sure you talk to your friends' horses as well. Sometimes it can be easier to receive information from an animal that you don't know as well. So how do you go about this? I'll go over the basic steps for connecting, but please feel free to reach out to me with questions. The first step is all about getting grounded. What does getting grounded mean? It entails breathing and connecting to your body in such a way that you actually feel connected to the earth and fully present in your body. You aren't floating away with your thoughts, nor feeling spacey bumping into furniture, because none of us do that, right? When I get grounded, I like to be barefoot so I can actually feel my feet touch the ground. So if you can, it's also nice to go outside and actually ground to the physical earth. I love to think of my feet sending love and gratitude to the planet that we get to live on. The next step to grounding is to breathe down into your belly and even into your sit bones. When I'm in my office chair, I have my bare feet on the ground, I wiggle my toes a little bit, breathe into my belly and then into my sit bones, and then I say in my mind, I am grounded, or I am connected. I'll often yawn once I feel like I've clicked in and feel completely at ease in my body. Now I should mention, being grounded might not always feel like a good thing. Some people are so used to floating away energetically, especially if they have pain issues, that it could actually be uncomfortable to feel fully grounded. Just note that and do your best to focus on your breathing, and then send love to your body and send appreciation to your body as well. The next step in connecting involves breathing into your heart and setting an intention for your communication session. After I feel completely grounded, I then breathe into my heart area, imagine it expanding, and then say in my mind or out loud, I call in the highest good to have the most accurate and compassionate conversation for this animal and his or her owner. Then once I've set that intention, I look at the photo of the animal and imagine my heart center connecting to the animal's heart center. I then introduce myself on behalf of the owner if I don't know the animal, and then wait to see if they're willing to chat with me. Depending on which of your senses are stronger, you might see, hear, feel, smell, or even taste things from the connection. Sometimes it's a combination of a few. Be willing to be patient and notice every little detail of what happens during this time. It's very handy to have a journal next to you so you can jot down your experience. When I tune in, I see things, feel things, and then I hear what the animal wants to say. I then become like a remote secretary, and the animal will dictate to me what to say to the owner's inquiries. It's always surprising to me, and I am often so impressed with their insights. The final step, no matter what happens with your experience, is to thank your animal for connecting with you. Even if you felt like you got nothing, the simple act of gratitude coming from you will create a better relationship in the long run. Our animals do so much for us in our lives. Just saying thank you to them is such a beautiful practice in general. They will feel it. I'd love to share a story from a recent session with you. This owner gave me permission to share her session that I did with her beloved older cat. He told me right away that he wanted some more water bowls placed around the house. The next thing he said was how much he loved hearing his owner sing. And then I heard the song, "You Are My Sunshine." So here's where it gets interesting. I emailed the owner the insights, and she placed more water bowls around the house, and her cat immediately started drinking more. I thought, well, that was cool. But the interesting thing she said was that she doesn't really sing. So for me, I just shrugged it off thinking I can't hold any attachments to being right in the sessions. I just go with what my impressions are. But then about an hour later, she wrote back to me to tell me she had just remembered that 2 weeks ago, she actually did wrap him in her arms and sang that very song, "You Are My Sunshine." Wow, I definitely got chills when she told me that. Even though I've chatted with so many animals, I'm continually honored and impressed when confirmations like that come through. I want to encourage you to give this type of communication a go. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain with your relationship with your animals. If you'd like to learn more about my services, please check out my website, inspiredriding.com, or find me on facebook.com/inspiredriding. Thanks so much for listening, and may the horse be with you, always.